Now that we're receiving the request body as JSON, we can put this data in our database. So let's require our item model at the top of the controller up here. So I'll go const item equals require models item, like that. And then in the create method, we'll create a new item using the request body. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And then we'll go const model, const item equals new item. And we can pass in rec.body because that's going to have all the data that we need to create the item. Now, let's create a try catch block so that we can save this and handle our asynchronous code. So we'll go await await item.save, like that. And after the await, let's move in our res.send there, like that. And we'll change that message from receive post to item saved. Now if there's an error, we want to do the same thing. Only the message will be failed to save item. Now we should also update the HTTP status code in the case of failure to 400, which means bad request. So we can do this by adding inside the chain here a status method call, and we can set that to 400. Now by default, Express will set the HTTP status code to 200, which is okay. That's what you want for a successful response normally. So that's why we don't have to actually set that up here. And before we go on, we need to make sure that this is an asynchronous function, since now it includes an await in there. Coming over to Postman now, let's actually go ahead and send that request, and we can see that we get a 200 status, and we see the success message again. Let's now open Compass again, and if we refresh, we should see that we have a new item here from Postman in our database. For another quick test, let's go back to Postman and change the request so that the title is empty, like that. If we send that off, we'll see that we get a 400 bad request, and that's because our required validation is being violated. So that's good too. In practice, we'd like our API to return more meaningful data. So let's get our response here to actually return the document that gets created. So to do this, we're going to create a const doc and assign that to the output of item.save. And instead of sending back a message, let's send back a property item, and we'll assign the document to it, like that. Now for the catch callback, we don't really need to send a message because the 400 status is probably descriptive enough. So let's come back to Postman now, and if we click send and come back down here, you can see that we get the document that we created in the response. So this is much more useful for API developers because they can see what it is that actually got saved. Alright, that's the end of this video and of the second module. So please go ahead and take 30 seconds to fill out the survey for this module so that I can get your feedback, as I'd really appreciate that. And with that, I'll see you in the next module.